Hi, everybody. Welcome back to What You Don't See, the podcast. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Bianca Leal, and she is the former house mom of Exoticas. If you're wondering what a house mom is, we're going to let her explain. And she is about to embark on a new journey, house mom at Chicas Locas in Harlingen, right? Are you excited?
Nervous. New crowd, and of course, like the management, they closed down Jaguars. It's the same people.
Oh,
so like I know the management somewhat, but yeah, I am nervous.
It's the former Jaguars, the former location of Jaguars?
Yes.
Got it.
They're trying to get away from full nude, and like they want to elevate the crowd.
Jaguars
because now,
was full nude?
Yes.
Here in the Valley?
Yes,
I didn't even know it existed.
Yes.
Is the one in Edinburgh still open?
Yes.
That one's still open?
I can't imagine that being attractive.
I saw it once anyway. I went to the after party one time back in the day, and it was unattractive.
It's so unattractive to me.
Full nude?
Yeah.
It's a different environment.
Yeah.
I have done it too. There's a couple of other places here, like
In the Valley?
Yes, there's.
We want to know.
Yeah, there's underground after hour,
Speakeasies?
no, like the county is aware of it, and they kind of just because they don't sell liquor, so like that.
Yeah,
so it's like kind of like in the gray.
Yeah, because they don't sell liquor.
Like a private party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a private party, but it's open to the public. People can go in. You know, the entrance fee is a little bit more expensive than if you were to go to Tex-Mex or.
What's the entrance fee there?
Does Tex-Mex still exist?
Yes.
I work there partially too sometimes, and even at Stilettos.
So what is a house mom?
The support for the dancers.
Yep.
As far as like taking them on rides if they need rides, picking them up, taking care of their kids sometimes too. Like I've babysat for them too.
On the location?
No, never on location. Always at my house when I wasn't working. On the days that I wasn't working,
Hair and
makeup. I would sew them like outfits, but then I would also, when they were a little too drunk to function and they were like, there's like a million straps, I would cut them out and then resew the outfit.
Yeah.
So like doing that, making their repairs on their shoes, because honestly, like they look sturdy and they're not. They do bust, and there's a place locally here that fixes them for me.
Cool.
Also renting out lockers, renting out shoes too. Mainly they're for them. Like I'm the house mom. Like I'm the mom of the house. Like that's the only way I can.
Yeah.
And they've become lifelong friends. They're also my clients. I can't say that they're just friends too, because they're also clients. They support me, and I support them. That's a house mom.
I love that there's that.
Available, that resource available for them. Somebody to watch out for them. Yes. Like, hey, like it looks like she's having a little bit too much to drink, or that guy's getting weird with her. I don't like the way that, you know what, like you're there to literally be their mom. Make sure that they're okay. Make sure that they're
safe. Yeah,
that their outfits look okay, that their makeup looks okay, that if they need food, you go and get it. You know what I mean? Make sure they're hydrated.
Yes,
like, I think every, I don't want to call it gentleman's club. What do you call it? Strip club?
I call it a gentleman's club.
You call it a gentleman's club? I think every gentleman's club should have a house mom.
And not all of them
Somebody
do.
who has
I agree.
the girl's best interests. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure for the girls it can become dangerous. It can become scary, intimidating.
Have you seen times when it's been dangerous for the girls?
Yes.
Explain it.
For me.
Oh yeah, tell us an example.
Driving, there was a dancer that had a stalker, and she was like, please take me home. Like, this guy has been following me. Management really didn't do anything. They were more like, you need to leave. You're not allowed to. They did that part. For the guy.
But when she walks out.
Once you walk out, like, I've heard, like, I've had to go and pick up girls, like, they stop at a Stripes or somewhere brightly lit, because they're like, this guy has been following me since the parking lot.
Oh man.
So, and like a lot of the times, our policemen locally do not help.
No, they don't.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like it's reported and the police don't do anything
Like
about
they'll
it?
call and be like, hey, there's this guy. One of the dancers was like, hey, I need you to come. I know that you were dropping off the girls, so I know you're still out. She's like, I need you to come. I need you to pick me up. And in the morning, I'll pay you to bring me back to pick up my vehicle. I don't feel safe. Like she like,
said that to you.
Yeah, she was like, I called the police, and they were basically like, oh, it'll be like 45 minutes before somebody gets.
Oh wow.
And it's like, really? Yeah, the police station, it wasn't so far from where I was. So it was disheartening in that sense. Like,
And the police don't do anything because they know they're strippers?
yes. Like
So-
I was at, like she's like, I told them I just came from the club. I was at Exoticas, and they were like, oh, well, are you inebriated? Do you need, medical assistance? We can send, but we won't personally go out there and escort you.
That's crazy.
Like we've gotten that.
Maybe because they don't value sex work lives as much as they value
Is that called sex work, stripping?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is?
I mean, even though it doesn't literally include sex, it's still considered sex work.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
There's categories for sex work.
OnlyFans is sex, even though you literally don't ever.
Even being on a
OnlyFans is
OnlyFans
sex
is
work?
sex work.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't have sex, but it's still considered a form of sex work.
Some
Because
people
you're
do have
getting
sex,
nude.
though.
Yeah.
As long as
On
they,
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Yeah, like even
With
if
themselves?
With
with
themselves,
themselves,
with
with other people.
with-
Yeah.
Way to figure it out. Really?
And people.
No, yeah, it's
It's everything. Girl.
Yeah.
On OnlyFans? They,
You only feet.
yeah. There's also
I'd like to get money for my feet.
Only
I think even that.
feet finder, girl.
Feetfinder.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm sure that's a big issue where people, the general public, they don't value the lives of sex workers. They're like, she asked for it. You know what I mean?
She asked for it.
That's
She
what I
asked
got
for
a
it,
lot
you
from
know?
in those comments, in those messages.
Oh, tell us
Like,
about
Tell
that.
us about the
Women-
messages.
Wait, let's give the background. So this is the second time. This is the second time that I've personally hung out with Bianca. I purchased the old Exoticas. I invited her to come back and speak on her time at Exoticas. So we posted all those videos. She got a lot of hate. Tell us the hate comments and messages you got.
I got them from mixed, like we were talking about. I got them from both male and female. I got a lot of like, how can you sit there and mom these women? It's beneath you. Like,
What the fuck?
What do you mean by beneath? Like, why is it beneath
I
you?
feel like it's just like, she just said, a lot of people undervalue these women.
Yeah.
It's not like a worthy thing to do.
Yeah.
It's not a job.
It's not a, yeah.
They feel like because they're taking off their top, I mean, most of the time, if they're not doing, like full nude, I feel like they get a lot of backlash, a lot of hate, a lot of criticism for just taking off their clothes and working. Because at the end of the day, they all pay taxes. I mean, a lot of them have houses, so they're paying taxes too.
Property taxes.
Property taxes and everything.
Income tax.
Exactly. So
Is it taxed? Is it taxable?
a lot of them get
Because it's cash, isn't it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I think they get like the 1099. At Exoticas, they would. A lot
They're
of places. it's-
independent contractors,
yeah.
so but I'm sure a lot of it goes unreported. The money.
Most of them that are smart with their money, and it's a lot of them.
If they're smart, they evade taxes.
If they're smart with their
We're not
money,
encouraging that, just by the way.
No, if they're smart with their money, a lot of them are pretty well off.
Yeah.
So it's
If they don't go
It
and blow
pays
it
for
on,
people's college and their
know,
stuff. I mean,
women buy houses, support their families, their
Yes.
kids. Like it could be a good living if you're doing if you're smart with your money, if you're not blowing it on alcohol and shopping and all that stuff. If you're smart with your money, like you can go get a mortgage, like it's
or own a business.
or own it, start a different business. A lot of times it's a
This one dancer that I know, she does nails. And she supports herself that way now. She had
I think she did my nails one time. I think I know who you're talking about.
she has a business now, and it's doing really well. She went to school. All her kids are in private school now. Like she's paying for all of that because she got herself through, nail tech school. She's like, I was only going to do it for so long, and I stayed a little longer because the money was good. She had clients. And then it got too much to juggle with both school, work, and then owning a business. So then she stopped dancing for a little bit, and then to keep on paying for her, you know, like her she had employees too, you know, like I said, they all pay taxes, they own
law-abiding
businesses. Yeah, they really are. I think a lot of them are. So it's possible. But you know, there's always two sides to the story. There's always some that squander their money, and some that, you know.
Yeah, just like in any profession. There's lawyers who are smart with their money, they squander it. There's doctors who squander their money. It's like any profession. Some people are good with money and some people are not.
We just like to wear it.
and it's fun.
Literally.
Fun to see the dancers, like, where they know they're fucking up and they know they're doing bad, and then they just like snap out of it and
they change their life
and they, you know, like support their kids and everything that we've talked about.
So these hate comments that you got, like, did you feel threatened? Did you feel sad? Like, how did it affect you mentally?
It didn't affect me mentally. It was more just the shock that I was getting that hate from being a house mom. I'm not even a dancer, you know. I'm like in the background.
She's not even a dancer, and she was getting hate.
Can you imagine the strippers?
Imagine the dancers, like if they were to go out there and post about it. Like,
yeah, a lot of people would. I think this has helped. It's made a lot of awareness because I've gotten positive too, not just negative.
Right.
But it was just like a shock because I mean, I'm always around them, and I've never gotten that kind of hate direct or in my face. And it was just like, wow, like these people really, even like, you know, negative comments towards you, like what does she have to do with this, you know, or what it.
Yeah, I got a lot of hatred.
And a lot of the dancers see you now as an ally. And that was like a really like,
that's so great.
Awesome to hear.
Yeah.
They were like, we didn't expect that from Leah.
Aww.
So
Are there other any house moms, or you're the only one?
that I know of right now, I'm the only one in the valley.
See, so who else is gonna do her job? You know, like her
So
job is
you're the
actually
only one
an important one.
protecting all these
But
women.
but Exoticas doesn't have one. Don't they have a?
Exoticas closed down.
Oh, the other one.
Stilettos.
Stilettos.
She sometimes will house mom there,
Yes, I'm the same thing at Tex-Mex and
There should
at,
be a full-time person there all the time protecting
and that's
these
what
women.
like I can't be at both places at once, and most of the time I do the girls' hair and makeup at my house because I mean it doesn't feel like home at the other places.
Aww.
Like Exoticas was home for a lot of the dancers. A lot of them feel misplaced.
For the record, it closed down before I bought it. I did not shut the place down. People think I shut it down. I'm like, really? It was already closed down when I bought it.
For years.
But the way I want something that a lot of people have questions on is the strip clubs don't pay you. The girls pay you.
Yes,
right?
and then sometimes you have to pay. Like
You pay an entry fee to get in. Yeah. And then the girls are like, okay, here's your tip for taking care of me so that's the way you get paid, right?
So they don't pay you at all. The business
the actual
itself.
establishment, no.
And they should.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
They should, because you're
The way
there
they have a
protecting their
security outside.
Their
staff.
staff, yeah.
You guys
know?
need to rethink the way you do business.
By the way.
So yes, it's a big issue. Even the dancers, I feel like, why should they have to work to pay? The club makes
Why should they have to pay
and
to
then
go
the
in
way
and
they
work?
get like most entries $20 if they're there before open to like maybe 2 hours into the work shift, and then it goes up. Some dancers, like if they get there at 10:30, 11 o'clock, they're paying $100.
They're paying to get
So
in.
the dancer has to pay a fee to be able to dance there.
Yes.
What?
And some places like
The
in
dancers
Nevada,
pay a fee?
Yes.
Yes, and then this is the like,
This is why OnlyFans is a hit right now.
yes.
Because you avoid all of those things.
And so you see the dancers, and there's thousands of dollars on the floor. A percentage of that goes to the club.
What?
It's
What?
not theirs.
So you have to pay.
So they pay.
How do they
You
know
have to
how
pay
much
you-
is on the floor?
Because the people, like the bouncers, will rake the money up.
What?
Like they have songs about this.
These poor
Rake
girls
it
are on
up.
their knees.
I've never heard
their money.
I didn't know what
But
that
when they're on
meant.
their knees grabbing it and like,
Yeah,
and they
that's so
put it
sad.
like, does the bouncer go and say like, hey, let me see how much you got?
Most of the time they'll put them in, if it's a big amount, they'll put them in those little hamper, they look like laundry baskets, and they'll just stuff it in there. Somebody at the end of the night will count it, and then once they
So
count
every girl
it,
gets a hamper?
yeah, pretty much.
Or they
The dancers that really know how to hustle, they'll get a little bag like those or a little basket, and they'll stuff it in there. And I mean, whatever they have on them, I mean, if you hide it well enough, you don't. That's not accounted for. I mean, that's a better.
Yeah.
So there's ways around it, or they'll be like, go now.
Yeah.
Please, I'll tip you. Just go and get the money, because I know, like, I'll be like, oh, well, it was only so much, so that they're not paying a full amount. I've done that before to help them out, because it's like, why are they going to take that? That's
What's the
their money.
percentage?
10, 20.
I didn't know a dancer had to pay to dance.
Okay, so you have to pay an entry fee. You have to pay to dance.
Yes.
You have to tip the DJ, and you have to pay her
The
out
house
too.
mom.
mom
And you have
And
to pay the
and
bar
then you tip
out.
the bar
And that's
too.
where I was getting to, too.
I need to own one of those places.
I
In
was
Las
always
Vegas,
thinking, Leah.
That's where she's going with this. I need to own one.
Yeah, I was like, that's easy money. Let me own
it
one
is
of those.
easy money. It's your own ATM. The only thing is you have to find people that you can trust
Yeah.
to run the place.
Yeah.
And I mean run, because my brother applied for the position. He was as a bouncer at Exoticas, and I'm not going to say who was the management at the time, but he went and he's like, they're stealing from this place. He was loss prevention for Kmart until they basically filed for bankruptcy and closed. And he was like, they're not going to hire me, because I'm going to find out who's stealing. I'm going to find out who's taking what, and they're not going to like it.
Management don't.
So management was like, no, your brother, no. So
Oh my God.
it's like, you have to find good management, because not everybody has the owner and the dancer's interest at
Well,
hand.
that happens a lot. Like even in my company, I can do quotes for certain businesses, and the management won't hire me because they get a percentage from the company, the AC company that's doing the job at that place. So they only feed to that one AC company or that one press company, or they're like, don't hire them because Sarah's not going to give us a cut.
And that's why they don't have house moms at a lot of places, because
They
house moms see
supervise,
everything.
They don't want
Like, I
somebody
was the
around
fly
there
on the
snooping
wall.
around and
They don't want someone sober that can actually catch,
Yeah.
you know, what all the stuff that's going on.
Yes.
I didn't realize dancers had to pay.
And then
Yeah.
there's also, like, in Nevada and LA, certain cities, even in San Antonio, that you have to get a license. So
I wonder if that happens like at those bunny houses in Vegas
No,
when
those-
you're
that's-
sleeping with
that's
somebody.
separate.
Okay.
that's separate.
I'm like, geez,
That's separate. No, you have to get a license to dance at certain places.
a license?
Yeah, like it's
to
a-
dance?
Yes.
You do a workshop.
So you're no, it's like you go down to, like, I guess City Hall
Right?
or
Oh, okay.
DMV or something. I don't know.
Here? No, right?
No, not here. But
Nevada?
I've heard, like, in Nevada and in California, and then
They're
they have
taxing
to
it.
put pasties so there's no areola showing at all.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, even on your pubis, if the girls have, like, private parts, they give them these, like, weird underwear to cover the crack, because even showing the crack is considered prostitution. And if they're backstage, even backstage, they cannot be without their shoes
You can't show your butt crack?
in certain places. Yeah, and so they can't they can't have none of their shoes. They always have to have shoes on for some reason. They think that that's considered prostitution. I was like, what?
Like without?
Without shoes.
Oh, okay.
So if they're
That's
walking around,
barefoot. Yeah,
if they're
barefoot,
barefoot, they, like, even out of the shower, they're like freaking out because TABC comes in at any time and like
Goodness.
checks.
so you have to have
And I'm
shoes
pretty
on.
sure you guys, TABC goes a lot.
Why? Because
right?
you can't
Like,
screw with shoes
I
on?
think I shower
Like,
with
I
Crocs.
was so
That's-
under the radar that when
when it would happen, you didn't even know.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I was like in the back
yeah.
doing makeup or something. So I never knew when they were in, but they would check and they would fine, and sometimes they would even wait outside of the club just to see, like.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot
that we don't know. Like people who are not
that you don't see.
You don't know what you don't see.
This is what you don't see, this kind of stuff. It's crazy. So I have a personal question for you. You don't have to answer. All of those, like 10 years you were working at Exoticas, you were married, correct?
Yes.
And how did your husband feel about it? And did it cause friction in your marriage?
My husband would sit upstairs and he had a tablet and he would face the other way. He never looked at any of the girls' tits or ass, or he was super gentleman-like.
Okay.
He saw a lot of these dancers as friends.
Yeah.
As people that would put
Their
food on the
family,
table.
yeah.
And they would also put food on our table too.
They were literally paying you all. Yeah.
Yes. And he would cook for them. We would invite him over. We would go on trips. It was never an issue. He never had any issues with any of everybody there that worked there was like a big family. Yeah.
Aww.
Like we would fight like siblings.
Aww.
There was a lot of drama, but also like at the end of the day, we were coworkers, friends. And so it was never an issue with my husband. My husband was there.
So he would go there with you?
Yeah, he would work, do his driving and stuff like that, come home. And when he was off, he would just be there with me because he knew that I was going to be working like all day. So it was nothing but
What time do they open?
It's
I'm going to run a business. I'm calculating.
so
I'm going to be available.
yes. During certain management, sometimes it was open from noon to 2. Sometimes 3 to 2 a.m., sometimes 5 to 2 a.m.
Always closes at 2 a.m.
It's always 2 a.m. and then it varied on like
when
season.
it opened. Yeah.
It was just
I heard that they do buffets.
some places, but you don't want to eat at a strip club.
Steak and fries.
It's like,
No, that's always what I thought.
So gross.
One of my ex-wives used to go to Steak and Fries in San Antonio.
All I imagine is
I swear,
ass cracks.
I would always say, like, what the fuck are
And,
you doing
like-
eating there? Like, I don't know.
Well, I'm sure the girls are not in the kitchen cooking. Like there's cooks in the
they
kitchen
have actual,
cooking.
like chefs. There's some
Yeah.
places that have like professional chefs and they make
High end like gentlemen's clubs in Vegas, you better believe they're serving good food.
Tex-Mex has the best tacos. The best enchiladas.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I've heard, but
What
I
time?
wouldn't, but I wouldn't go eat it.
it's good.
Guys, the girls are not in the kitchen. Like
They have actual
So
chefs.
has Ojos Locos affected? Because I see Ojos Locos. The girls are pretty much
they're in thongs.
Hooters closed
yeah.
down.
thongs.
Or it's closing
Hooters
down,
closed
right?
down because Ojos Locos put them out of
Locos,
business.
Yeah. And OnlyFans.
Hooters closed down here?
Yeah.
Only here?
I
Or
haven't seen it affect.
No.
I haven't seen it affect.
No, because they want the girls to take their top
Construction
off.
is affecting stilettos.
Yeah,
because
really.
you have to do like a crazy turnaround to get there. That is one thing. Since all that construction went on, they've been having issues.
Because I see the Ojos Locos and they're not wearing hardly anything.
yeah, they're showing crack and everything.
Yeah. And they're serving food.
Sí, se les ve la cola. I see the pictures
Is
on
that
social
considered-
media,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
And a
Sex
lot
work?
of them end up.
Is that considered sex work?
Yeah, I would consider it sex work.
I don't know.
They are wearing their shoes.
Well, I
though.
mean,
don't
but they're
know.
also like showing ass cheek, and
Yeah.
and I've told some of the dancers, or some of the girls that work there, and they've converted into dancer. It happens.
Really?
Yeah, it's like you're already showing.
Yeah.
Like, you can wear pasties if you don't want to show your nipples.
Do they get tipped as well if they wear pasties?
It's more like the gift of gab.
Oh, like are you able to be like
There were
mysterious?
dancers
And,
that would wear tights, and I mean like these lace leggings.
Oh, I
they were
love
see-through and a thong, and they would make a lot more. It's just
More than- yeah.
a lot
It's all
more.
about
It's
like
your energy.
it's your
It's
energy.
your energy.
It's the way you talk to them. It's the way that
Your sexuality,
Yes.
how comfortable you are.
Oh,
Your
they
they
was a
get me
dancer
drunk and I'll do real
Yeah.
good. I won't shut the
There were
fuck up.
dancers.
Magda, so how can I help you?
Yeah.
I think you might want to hear about this therapy I heard about.
But they like that, and that's one thing a lot of people don't understand. They're not getting it at home, so they're gonna go and get it at a strip club.
Yeah, we've talked about this in the
fancy-
episode. Like, what makes a husband go to a strip club, right? Like, or what makes a man go to a strip club? And it's weird if you're the only one there, and it's just you go by yourself. Like, I don't know. What makes them? What do you think?
It's a fantasy. Like the dancers that don't do their makeup, the dancers that don't do their hair, the ones that don't wear the lingerie. And I'm not talking about Victoria's Secrets, because that you can get that at home.
Yeah.
They want the tights, they want the stripper thongs, they want the like
What do you think?
bustiers
Do you think? I believe that pornography has a lot to do with them, kind of like wanting that or having those fantasies. Like, how do you feel about that?
But it's the oldest profession.
Yeah, but
The dance of the silk scarves, that's
you
in
think
the biblical.
it's because men are chasers, men are like hunters. Like, do you think it's in their DNA?
It's in the Old Testament. And I want to say
I've never read the Bible.
Yeah, I have.
me,
I'm
I'm
like, what scripture is that in?
yes. And it's the silk, it's the 9 veils or the silk scarves.
Yeah.
It's a thing. And they,
La danza de los
yes.
9. Yeah, it's a thing.
Salome,
Yeah.
I think, was the
Salome,
one. I want to say it was
Yeah,
her.
yes.
Salome. Yeah, Salome.
Salome.
That's her name. The dancer. Yes.
La danza de los 9 velos.
Okay, so what Ingrid, ask it again?
Oh shit, I forgot.
About
What do you think men go do that? Like you say, it's
there's
the
dancers that have
fantasies.
sugar daddies, and all they want is attention. That's all they want.
What type of attention might they be missing at home that you can like?
So private dances doesn't always mean sex.
No.
No, you just get a little.
They just, it's,
How, Ingrid? How?
And in the eyes, and in the eyes.
just a little bump and grind and go home, and they probably
Bump
go
and grind
and you know,
Yeah.
fool around with their wives.
My husband would tell me that there's this guy that he would always go to the strip club, and the wife knew. And he was like, how come you let him go? He's like, dude, está bien viejo, rabo verde. Like, nobody's gonna, like, want to hook up with him. And he gets all turned. He comes home, and he gets with me.
Exactly.
So she was okay with it, because I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, and isn't it weird that you're getting with your wife, but you're like thinking, like, how do you feel about it? It's like, who cares? Like, he's fucking just thinking about it. He's not doing it. You know,
Yes.
it's his fantasy.
It is.
You know? So a lot of women are okay with it.
I
think
admire those women.
Hispanics are less okay with it.
Están locas because of telenovelas.
I don't.
We're extremely jealous people.
locas.
We are.
Dos
No, not
mujeres
really,
y un
because
camino.
I've also-
It
Give me
traumatized
Johnny
me.
back. Like,
They also put up with a lot more.
That too. But I've seen couples go in too, and regular.
Hispanics.
Yeah.
Team BB or Team Ted?
That what?
I kind of like BB.
BB? Team BB.
What?
I don't know.
We're talking about Dos Mujeres Un Camino de novela.
Oh
They
my
picked me
God, you
up.
guys.
Yeah.
They're talking about a novella.
No, how jealousy is like,
Yeah.
how we learn jealousy in Latino culture.
So do you
It's a lot
see
through
jealousy a
novelas.
lot in the club? Like a girl starts dating a guy and the guy goes like psycho and that kind of stuff because he's jealous because she's stripping.
I've seen both spectrums. So I've seen the guy go crazy, and then I've seen the guy get her out of the game, marry her, make her a good woman, and she doesn't have to strip anymore, and they still go to the clubs
And they still go.
to support the dancers.
Look at
that are
Cardi
there.
B.
I love that.
Look at Cardi.
Look at Cardi.
Cardi B, Lotto, who else? All these, you know, rap stars and dance. Megan Thee Stallion,
Yeah.
she's a regular. You know, it's
Yeah.
Who?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Meg.
Yeah.
She still goes and strips.
No, she goes to
she goes to support. To support.
to support. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sexy Red goes to, of course.
Yeah.
Right now, didn't Snoop Dogg just open, or his wife opened the strip club?
I didn't know about that.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, after
Snoop
hearing all
Dogg's-
that, I'm
yeah.
gonna.
Snoop
You
Dogg
wanna
said,
invest?
look into
You
it.
wanna invest?
Sarah, look into it.
I think that we would all be a good team. If we're gonna go into business, it
Let's
should
call
be
it
something
what you
like
don't see.
What you don't see,
honestly, like stilettos might go under if we were to start.
Leah's
Like,
always
They've
told
been
me.
going under for years.
oh,
Yeah.
I feel like our club would thrive.
I always
honestly.
remember, how come, like, remember I told y'all, my dad gave me this tip, if you want to make money, sex,
Cells.
food.
food, and what was the other one?
The Sins.
AC.
AC. That's plumbing.
That is.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Death,
Death. Yeah, I
because
remember
it's
that.
inevitable.
Theft.
Dead.
Death.
Like to die.
The funeral home.
Oh, funeral homes.
Like a funeral. It's a good
Oh,
business. 'Cause
I was like, what?
That's
Yeah.
How do you sell death? Okay, but now I get it. Now I
Yeah.
get it.
Funeral home.
It's-
business.
Wow.
inevitable, so yes.
Yeah. Wow. Well, these are like really, really great things that you're sharing with us, and I'm glad that the girls have somebody watching their back.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And thank you for that.
And yeah, just like she
Yeah.
said, she's the only one doing that here. So like to me, that's a very important job, like for you to protect. Because who the fuck else is gonna protect them? You know, not even the management does. Not even So that's good that you exist.
These party
for
girls
them.
are on their own.
Yeah. A lot of them are. A lot of them don't have their family just disown them, or it could be.
I have one last question. From all the women that you've encountered in this profession, do most of it do it out of necessity, or do you think como que nada más se chiflan? Like, is it a little bit of both?
A lot of it's out of necessity.
Right? We've
What do you
talked
mean by
about this.
chiflan? ¿Qué es chiflan?
Like maybe you just like to undress yourself, and maybe you like to date a lot of men. Maybe you like that type of attention.
Those
like maybe
women
you
don't
just-
last in the industry.
But there's
Why?
a lot of them, right? Like, or is there any?
Why don't they last in the industry?
Majority of them are out of necessity.
I was going to say, it's hard to already put yourself out
There's
there.
dancers.
Exactly.
Okay,
Imagine having to be
there's a
moving.
dancer that she was an ex-friend. I used to go to school with her when I was going to cosmetology. She converted into a dancer because she wasn't making it out of, and she also liked to live, the lavish life. She had sugar daddies and stuff, and then her sugar daddy was like, I don't need you anymore, girl. Bye. Because a lot of them are lazy. A lot of them don't want to do. And those women don't last. Like, I basically let the dancers know at the establishment that she was working at, keep an eye on her. And sure enough.
You already know, like.
It's like she wasn't going to last. And she was always asking me, get me in. And it's like, you're not going to last. They'll eat you alive and spit you out.
What do you mean eat you alive?
Girls like that don't last. The prissy ones and the like, oh, I'm the shit. Those girls do not last
But why?
because they don't have the hustle. They think that it's just going to come to them.
You gotta hustle still.
It's like with everything else.
Just like with everything else.
Just with everything else.
Yeah.
You have to have the need. If you don't have the need, you're not
Yes.
gonna hustle.
Claro.
But then there's also the girls that have kids and don't do anything, and it's like they're okay with $300 for the week, and then they'll work once or twice. Those don't last either. Those girls don't, because it's like they're living off of welfare. They have a check from their kid, or I've seen.
Yeah.
I can talk about this for hours. I have 10 years of just like stories.
If I would have been a stripper, I would have been a hustler.
I believe
I would have
that.
been out there.
I would have hustled.
I would have been cleaning that
But
pool.
you guys are all hustlers.
Yeah, I think we're all
So
hustlers.
you all would
so-
have had your houses either way, your clothes, your purses, your
Oh, probably just clothes.
everything.
Probably just clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you would have been good. Like
I would
you
have been good.
Yeah.
I think I would have been good.
Yeah, it takes a certain level of dedication. As in any profession, you have to hustle, you have to work, you
Nothing
have to
just
be
comes to
dedicated.
us.
Nothing just comes to you. I don't care how beautiful you are. If you sit there and expect money to come to you, you have to work
doesn't.
for it. Like,
Or you gotta work it.
You gotta work it. Yeah.
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 And like the dancers that like to travel, they'll make their money 5-6 years and they're out.
Yeah. I think that's the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like take it as a little step, as a helping hand, make your money, hustle it out, and then peace. Like
Make
do
your
what I have
money,
to do.
save it, reinvest it.
But like
Yeah.
you said, you have to be smart about it.
You have
too,
to be
'cause there's
smart
some
about
that
A lot of them aren't.
receive it and
Because it comes so fast that it's like
easy come, easy go.
easy come, easy go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Love it.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that the viewers today are listening with an open mind. I hope.
I see it. I see it.
What?
My brain is
hear.
like,
I
okay.
can hear
You
that.
have been-
This
yeah.
is like you weren't interested enough in the healing one, but this one, girl.
Oh yeah, girl. The eyes.
I feel like you've been sitting
All the
here.
algebra around her, like
I could hear the clicking.
I
can hear the computer.
I'm like, damn.
taking notes.
The dollar signs are just.
Clubs that are owned by females, they're so much more successful.
Yeah.
Like the Exoticas.
No, I'm telling you, look
the
into
Exoticas in Laredo is doing better now than
Snoop
it
Dogg's
had ever
wife just opened one.
done. And the
It's owned by a
owner is a
woman?
woman. Yeah, no. It's doing way better.
Should we turn OG into something on the weekends? I mean, we could create a set.
Well, we have Joanna Galindo that does art that could create some really good stuff for us.
Yep.
Speaking of artists and talented people, these are all by a local artist. Her name is Joanna Galindo. They are for sale. If you are interested in buying one, send us a DM. We will connect you with
We'll
her.
hook you up easy, $1,000.
Baby, if you're a cash queen, easy. Get it.
I want to thank Bianca. I know it's not easy to come up here and make yourself vulnerable.
And thank you. And I hope you don't get hate.
Because people attack you for your profession.
It's never gonna faze me.
Yeah.
Hey, and if
That's good, 'cause
you're
they
a
need
person
you.
that's throwing hate, like you really have something going on inside of you to be having the time of your day to go and type into someone's profile, like
It's somebody who
don't do
isn't
that.
doing enough.
Don't do
They
that.
don't have too
there's
much
already-
time on their hands.
There's already too much hate. There's already too much like shitty things happening around the world for you to be
I feel
that
sorry for
shitty
you.
person to do that to somebody else.
And if you don't
So-
like it, mind your business because it ain't your business.
right? And you never kick down people who are down,
Thank
ever.
you. Okay, thank you, Bianca. We love you. We support you. And thank you for joining us. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.